Hi guys, I am Anish Deshpande, and in this video we are going to see the concept of key squares in the king and pawn endgame. This concept is very important for us as we get similar positions in our games when we have pawn or our uh, or the player playing against us has an extra pawn and we don't know how to play. So in this case the concept of key square will help us. So the concept of key square says that if the pawn is in if the pawn is in white's area, like here, this rank and the rank under this are the, like, the first, second, third and the fourth rank are white's area, and the fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth rank are the, are the, are the are are the black's area. So if the pawn is behind is in white's area, the key squares for this pawn are these three squares. Like if the white's king comes here first, white will win the game, and if black king comes here, black will black black will draw this game. So if it so if white starts to play here, if he plays king to if he plays his king here to d3, white will play his king to f7, and as soon as white comes forward, a black king will block him, and as we can see, uh, white is not able to reach this square first. As if white goes here, black will keep moving in front of the king, and white will never be able to reach these squares, and black will eventually draw this game. So in this position, if one doesn't know the rule of key squares, if in this position one doesn't know the rule of key squares, and after white playing king to d3, black plays his king to f7, then he will surely be lost after king to d4, as he won't be able to block the white's king coming in the key squares of the pawn, like this. Like black will never be able to uh, block white's king from coming in these key squares, and and finally white will win this game and black will lose. So if one knows the concept of key squares, it is very easy for him uh, to get the to play the best moves in the match. And so if the pawn is in, and say this is the position, and if the pawn is has crossed white's territory, like white's territory was behind this rank, and the pawn has crossed this territory, then the key squares for this pawn are these six squares. And as we can see here, if white moves, then black will be the first to reach these key squares, and he will be surely able to draw this game. So this rule of key squares is only applicable uh, for all these six files. And as soon as the pawn is on the last rank, the key squares of the pawn changes. Like in this case, pawn is on the a file and the key squares for this pawn are these two squares. Similarly, if the pawn is on this file, the key square of this pawn are these two squares. If white king reaches this key square first, he will win, and of course if black reaches this key squares first, he will be able to draw this game. So if we continue in this in here, of course it is black to reach these key squares first, like this, and and he will be able to draw this game like this. He will just keep moving here, and he will be able to draw this game like this. White king has to move here and it's a stalemate. So Guys, I hope you have understood the concept of these uh, uh, concept of these key squares, and hope it will help you in your game.